to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Well, it's the morning after. It's not the morning after a fight night we're expecting this weekend. It's the morning after yesterday's situation. First of all, you as a fighter that was due to fight on the undercard on Saturday at the O2, how are you feeling that you're not fighting?
Frustrated, very frustrated. A lot of preparation went into preparing for this fight. It was a great opportunity for me to fight alongside my cousin in one of the biggest events in the UK, you know, in the boxing world in a long time. So very frustrated. It was, you know, it was a fight I was really looking forward to, and when you come up to the fight hotel, everything's done, so you're like, all your preparation, all the hard work you've put in, this is really the week you kind of relax, zone in, and also do all the restrictions on your food and focus on making weight. So you're in the hotel, you're doing all that, and for then just before the night before the weigh-in to hear that it's not going ahead, it's a lot of wasted energy and time and effort, and that for me is personally frustrating, but what can we do, mate?
I mean, because there was such huge emphasis on the main event, I did feel like yesterday it was almost, with no disrespect, the undercard almost become like an afterthought in many people's ideas, because obviously the main event was so big, but we can't neglect the fact that there was another, say, 16 fighters that are not going to fight on Saturday. We can't neglect that fact that was also part of it. You've all gone through camps, you've all kind of put the work in to lead to Saturday for your own path, and yeah, I think that needs to be kind of addressed as well, that the undercard as well as the main event, which we're all looking forward to, not happening, the fact that you guys have done all that work isn't going to happen. That needs to be addressed.
100%. I feel for everyone on the undercard, all the fighters that have put in that work and that preparation to, you know, to come and show what they can do, and they've made the sacrifices, and they're not going to be rewarded for them. And as well as that, I feel for Chris, because his preparation, the promotion, the weight cut, all the energy he put into this fight is, you know, is washed away. And yeah, I feel for everyone involved.
Obviously, from the workout which occurred Tuesday of this week, was it Tuesday? No, it was Wednesday. Excuse me. From Wednesday, when we kind of were learning more about this situation, it was very up in the air whether the fight was going to go ahead. In terms of, we know that steps were made or attempted to be made in order to put the fight on. Now, I suppose that's the question about whether it was the right thing to do. It seems as though there was no option but for the fight itself between your cousin and Conor to be kind of scrapped from Saturday. But do you believe it was the right decision? We know that Chris was very vocal, obviously around that time of the workout on Wednesday, to say that he will still fight regardless of the situation with Conor Benn. But do you think it was the right decision for that fight not to go ahead?
Most definitely. This is boxing. You can't have anyone trying to take an unfair advantage, and you know, as the situation that unfolded, and you know, that substance in particular, it's known to, you know, hide or mask a something that gives you a very unfair advantage. And boxing, it's a blood sport. Although Chris's mindset is that, you know, there's no way that he couldn't win and dominate in there. But in the same breath, this is, you know, you can't give people them type of advantages over you. And I think in the moment, he didn't care. He wanted to fight. He still wanted to fight. But this is boxing, and we have to protect the sport that we love, and we have to keep it clean.
Obviously, what happens over the next sort of few days and weeks is yet to be seen. I'm sure there's things that are going to kind of unravel from this situation, because we don't know too much about it. We know kind of very limited information in terms of what's been happening over whatever period of time. But I suppose there's a lot of work that needs to be done on both sides in order for this fight to happen, if it happens. Do you believe that at some point that this fight will still take place?
As a boxing fan, I hope so, because we're all excited to see the fight and to see, you know, how it unravels in there. And I think that's a lot of why, you know, from the workout on Wednesday, it was like, you know, can this still happen? And, you know, on a lot of occasions, on a lot of fights, people would be like, no, that's you know, that's it, that's done. But because everyone was so keen to see this, as boxing fans, there was that kind of in the back of their head, can this still happen? Like, you know, and, you know, I hope it gets sorted out to a point where it can in the future, but I don't think it can anytime soon. Personally, I just think it has to be cleaned up to a point where, well, it's whether it can be cleaned up to a point where the boxing public yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one because we all want to see the fight. Like, there's no doubt we want to see the fight, but it needs to be under a circumstance where it's clean. Like, you can't have an unfair advantage. There's too much on the line in this sport, and it is a sport that needs to be clean. It needs to be everyone on the same platform. You know, you're fighting. It's man vs man, and it's all the training you've done and the preparation that should give you your strength in there. To have anything that gives you an unfair advantage in this sport of boxing, it has no place.
Have you spoken to Chris over the last 24 hours, Harlem?
Yeah, I spoke to him. You know, we had food yesterday, obviously after the news, and obviously he's devastated that it's not going ahead.
Okay, well, like I said, it's whether it's Chris or Connor or whoever, it's everyone's in the same boat of not fighting this weekend. So, like I said earlier on, that needs to be kind of put to the front as well, because it's like there's a lot of obviously frustrated and devastated people yesterday, people from your own camp, and there's still a few fighters walking around the hotel kind of wondering what to do with themselves this weekend, etc. So let's hope all you guys can kind of get on a card, whether it's, you know, your own promotion or whatever, just as soon as possible.
Yeah, 100%. We all need to be active again. So much work's been put into preparing, and you know, we don't have that outlet now to express everything that we've been doing in preparation for this. So, you know, I hope everyone on the undercard gets an opportunity soon to get out and you know, be rewarded for their work. And yeah, it's a shame that this weekend didn't go ahead, and I feel sorry for everyone affected by that.
Okay, Harlem, appreciate your time. This losing track of days, Friday morning. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish, mate?
No, that's it, mate. It's yeah, continue to follow the journey, man. It's gonna be a ride, and didn't get to show everyone what I can do this weekend, but in the near future, yeah, I'm gonna have the opportunity to do that.
Harlem Eubank, thank you very much. Still to Eiffel TV, and no doubt we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Nice one, Cougs.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.